We all know that women during the Renaissance had no opportunity to thrive as artists, as the world of art was dominated by men. However, some women managed to break the social and cultural limitations of their time and became renowned artists. Not only they create remarkable works of art, but they also use their talent and perseverance to break the barriers in a male-dominated world, paving the way for future generations of women artists. Planelli was born in 1524 and was from a wealthy family in Florence, Italy. She was a self-taught artist and was the first ever known female Renaissance painter of Florence. Her artistic journey started when she became a nun at the age of 14 at the convent of Santa Caterina di Caravaggio. At that time, Florence was heavily influenced by the preachers of Savonarola, and he promoted religious paintings by nuns, making the convent of Santa Caterina a center of nun-artists. Planelli's biggest inspiration was Fra Bartolomeo, an Italian painter of religious subjects, as the balanced compositions, the use of color, and emphasis on religious themes are evident in her works. Most of her works are large-scale, which was uncommon for a woman to paint, especially in her era. Her most famous work is The Last Supper, a massive oil-on-canvas illustration of the biblical dinner scene of Jesus and the 12 apostles. Propia de' Rossi was born in the year 1490 in Bologna, Italy, and she had a successful career as a sculptor. Women artists were already unusual during her time, but having women as sculptors was unheard of, making her the first female sculptor in the history of Europe. Although she didn't come from a family of artists, she did receive a well-rounded education in painting, poetry, and classical literature. She even got an apprenticeship with a sculptor at the University of Bologna. Her work started from religious friezes, and over time, she started working bigger and gained larger commissions. She was even hired to work for the Cathedral of San Petronio in Bologna to create a marble bas-relief depicting the scene of Joseph and Potiphar's wife from the Old Testament. Her fame spread throughout Italy, and even the Pope Clement VII, wanted to meet the genius himself. But before the Pope's arrival, Propia died due to the plague that swept through Bologna in the year 1530. Lavinia Fontana was born in Bologna, Italy on August 24, 1552, and she was best known as a successful portraiture. Her father Prospero Fontana was an artist, and it was he who trained Lavinia as a painter at a young age. Being the daughter of a painter gave Lavinia opportunities and connections, especially among the nobles. Most of her clients were noble women who saw her service as portraitess, as she was admired for her realism, her use of vibrant color, and the detail of the clothes and jewelry that her subjects wore. Besides working with the nobles, she also worked for the papacy by making portraits of two popes, Pope Clement VIII and Pope Paul V. Later on, she was appointed as the official portraitess in ordinary at the Vatican, which was a prestigious title in the papal court. Along with portraits, Lavinia also created some altarpieces, paintings on mythological themes, and paintings with female nude figures, which was controversial at that time. Artemisia Gentileschi was born in Rome, Italy on July 8, 1593. She was a skilled painter, and she was known as a feminist icon because a significant portion of her work focused on biblical heroines and powerful portrayal of women in moments of strength and defiance. This of course challenged the norms at that time, as women were considered weak and vulnerable against men. Heavily inspired by Caravaggio's technique in using light and shadow, Artemisia developed her unique style with dramatic lighting and emotional intensity in her works. As she developed her remarkable technical skills, she received patronage from many influential figures, like Grand Duke Cosimo II de' Medici and King Charles I of England. Due to her exceptional talent, she also became the first woman to become a member of the Accademia di Arte del Disegno in Florence, a prestigious institute filled with artists, patrons, and intellectuals.